Hey guys, welcome back. We've got Ben Milliken again on Lake Eufala, Oklahoma this time. And in the Bassmaster Open, he ended up in 22nd place, roughly 26 pounds, I believe. He's got a couple key spots, a couple key bites that really held him in there in contention. And we found a few of those spots. I'm going to show you how I came about those spots. I'm going to tell you first off, it was not easy. Now, his cameraman and editor have been shit hot on giving you shots like these. Not a lot to go off of, nice and up close, focused on him, and the show's about him, and I get that. But we have other ways, and I'm going to bring you along and show you how I found the spots and where they are and why I think he was fishing them. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first spot, we're going to watch his catch, and then I'll go through the process, take you along with me as we find out where this spot is, and then we'll discuss why we think he's fishing it. Here we go.
Let's get out of here, man. We gotta go do something different. This ain't working. Just didn't think there was any way we would get on this pile, so figured we might as well hit it while we're here. Casted this guy once. That's a big one. Come on, don't do it. Oh, yeah.
All right, so there you saw he caught a, I think it's roughly 4-pound fish right there. And let's back this up to before he made that cast, right at the beginning of this footage, right here. So a key point in finding this spot is this buoy. All right, this buoy is about all we can see in the background. And if you look at it, it says fishing. Now, this is not a no fishing buoy. This is not a no wake buoy. This is a fishing spot identifier put in place by Oklahoma Department of Wildlife. So that's our starting point, right? So we know many states do this where they go out and put brush piles, fish attractors, things like that in their lakes. And in this case, this one is marked with a buoy. A lot of them aren't marked. And so I'll show you how you can look up where those are in whatever body of water or whatever state you're in. Here we have the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife website. All I did was Google Oklahoma fishing attractor map and brought me up. This is the first link they had. And you can see here, you can select different lakes, and I'm not sure what that'll give you, but right at the top, if you're looking for a fish attractor location, check out our application with pin locations here. And it also has a map format that you can upload directly into your fish finder. So, I mean, they make it very easy. So here's Oklahoma. We're just going to go over to Lake Eufala, Oklahoma, and they've got all these pins of where they have placed, the state has placed fish attractors, brush piles, all sorts of things. So this is our starting point, and we get rid of all this water. We're looking for one of these spots, we know that, right? So we just eliminated most of the lake to find this spot. So we've got the buoy here identified. We know it's one of those fishing attractor spots. And I've got 4 other things I used to identify this spot, and I'm going to walk you through those now. First, I'll show you what I used, and then I'll show you how I used it. So starting off here, the way he's looking, all right, we've got a gap here, meaning to me, and I found this out by looking for this spot, this is an island. But I can just tell it's something different. It almost resembles an island right off the bat. You can tell it falls off here and falls off here. So moving forward, this is again right after that spot We've got a land bridge here. Let me back it up. One, there we go. Land bridge here, cutting across the lake. You can see a semi on it, so clearly it's a highway, and that doesn't happen very often on this lake. So narrowing it down even more, skip ahead a little bit. Here, same spot, we've got the land bridge completing and 2 towers, and I'll talk to you about how I found out where those towers were, and moving forward with the same spot where he's actually facing is we got a road, a tunnel that the water goes through, and some wires. So keep those 4 things in mind. I'll run through them real quick on how I found them. On Google Maps, we have initially the biggest, easiest thing to look for is the highways, right? So a highway dissecting the lake here, continues down, another land bridge here, a short one here, and one up here. This one and this one seem too small, so initially we're looking for these. Now, I think there's an island nearby, and based on the view, clearly there's nothing here. It's just right here, and I can already see an island. So I'm going to zoom in, see if we can confirm this spot in other ways. So we've got the island, we've got the land bridge, and then here we're going to have that tunnel that he was casting into a couple times. So zoom in even farther there, you can see the entrance to the tunnel. We've got the wires, the road, and if the only thing we're missing is that buoy, the fishing attractor location. But if we go to the fishing attractors map, I was already zoomed in on it. Let me back it out. Here's that land bridge. Here's the highway, or the other highway that the tunnel goes under. And then here's his island. So we've got the tunnel he was fishing, the fishing attractor spot he was fishing. And if you click on it, cool thing about these fishing attractor maps, they tell you what they are. So this one is a combination of cedar trees and spiders, and I think what they mean by spiders is their PVC spider kind of apparatuses that they make, and put those down as brush piles with their trees as well. So all that being said, we've got the spot identified, and an easy way for you pilots out there to identify where the towers are. I told you we had the towers, or I showed you the towers where that highway met dry land. So we've got the highway coming right here. The spot he was fishing is right here. And these are towers depicted on aviation maps very clearly. Shows you how tall they are, where they are. So we've got the towers on either side of the highway, just to reconfirm what we were looking at, so we know that we have the correct spot right here. So reasons why Ben is fishing this spot, we'll start off with the environment, right? We'll go to the topo stuff later, but right off the bat, obviously he's fishing this brush pile here put in by the state. We've already talked about that. That's kind of the spot within the spot. This area he picked, I think, because of the action, and it's just a lively area with active fish in it. So first thing I'll notice is the bird on the bank behind him. Birds are the best fish finders on the lake, and so if they're around, there's fish around. Look here shortly after he sets his hook, and just watch what happens. Right there. There's some schooling fish, probably bass right now in this area, feeding on bait. So what we have is he's catching a fish here, but around this brush pile is just an active area of fish. So we've got the birds are feeding on bait. We've got fish busting at the surface behind him. This is just a great area to be in, and he's capitalizing on the timing and fishing the right spot, being this brush pile in the area. I don't care what time of year it is, this is a great spot to be fishing as far as topographic map goes. So here you can see the highway going across the lake, the land bridge, his island, the tunnel, and even if you click on this, we've got special purpose general buoy, fishing area buoy. That's the one. So let's zoom in on this one more time. So coming in off the main lake, you've got this creek channel coming all the way back into this tunnel. And we've got an underwater bridge, we've got a brush pile, we've got a little high spot point coming off of this flat, another high spot point coming off of this flat, and a high spot here close to deep water. It's got everything. It's got bends, it's got underwater structure, and a tunnel here if there is any current from an inflow coming right through this tunnel. This is a high quality spot, and I mean, it looks obvious because we've already been identifying it and talking about it, but if you zoom out, Lake Eufala is giant, so it takes real actual map study, just knowing what you want to look for. And I'm hoping that from these videos I help you at least zero in on what they're looking for, they being the pros, to what you should be looking for, because they're very good about telling you what bait to buy, and that's going to solve all your problems. But it's about where you're fishing, why you're fishing there, and when you're fishing there to get that timing right, like he did in this situation. So if you find the right spot at the right time, generally having the right bait is going to be all you need. It doesn't have to be a certain brand of small plastic. If you're fishing a small plastic in his spot right now, you're going to be catching the same fish. So it's about spot IDing at the right time, and that's what I'm trying to help you do. So thanks for sticking around.
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texas, you wanna try